Kash Patel. No, for real. Iranian hackers hacked Kash Patel's personal email. According to Reuters, an Iranian-linked hacking group publicly came out and said, yeah, we got the FBI director's personal email. We're gonna drop some photos with that shit. The group taking responsibility is called the Handala Hack Team. And baby, they came with receipts. They dropped these hoes on Threads. What the fuck? How did the FBI director get hacked? I mean, isn't your personal email and shit supposed to be secure? I mentioned they was doing this just for fun. Just for fun. Imagine if they actually put in some fucking work. I just really hope Kash Patel has not been using his personal email to do work for the FBI. Because if he has, we are fucked. Let's pretend like this administration has not been through this before. Remember, PD Boyd was doing all of our battle strategies through the goddamn Signal chat. Fuck DEI hires. God damn. And yes, this was confirmed by the Justice Department. So this is just not he say, she say, she. Can y'all get Wiggs RS email? I'm just asking for a friend because that should be nice to see.
So the DOJ just confirmed that the head of the FBI, Kash Patel's personal email account was hacked by the Iranian-linked hacking group Handala, and we need to talk about it. First, they didn't even try and string anyone along. They just dropped a bunch of information to show that they have access to his email. Normally, you'd see hacking groups try to drop a very small sample and then throw up that they want a certain amount of money. You would expect Iran to do something like that or say, hey, stop bombing us. But no, they dropped a bunch of photos and they dropped a sample size of 300 emails that include work that he was doing between 2010 and 2019. Second, it needs to be understood that before Kash Patel was the director of the FBI, he was a no-named worker, still in the FBI. So when this hacking group says that they have access to his emails between 2010 to 2019, that's not just personal emails and subscriber details. That's case files, active investigations, communications with people who may be undercover in other countries and lives may now be in danger. Third and last, let's not forget that Hillary Clinton was investigated by the FBI for 2 years over her use of a personal email for government work, and how that was considered a national security threat and arguably one of the big reasons why she lost her election, the lock her up motto. And yet I guarantee you, or almost guarantee you, that this administration is going to do nothing about it regarding Kash Patel and do everything they can to move away from it as quickly as possible. We are beyond calling this administration incompetent because they prove it to the public almost every single day. That being said, it would be kind of funny if this is how we end up getting some unredacted Epstein files that were just lingering in his email account.
Kash Patel's personal email just got hacked by an Iranian-backed hacker group, and I have one thing to say. Iran, I don't care about Kash Patel's emails. Go get the files. Go get the rest of those files, those 3 million files that are out there, and release those bad boys. Release them all unredacted, baby. Let's go.
All right, check this out. This is certainly a headline that Donald Trump and the people around him were not hoping to see today. A decorated Navy SEAL is now calling for Baron Trump to be drafted to Iran. Just take a listen.
Here's how I feel about it. There's a simple thing as a leader. And you know this, having been in the military. Trump wouldn't know it because he's a draft-dodging coward. But anyway, it's this. A war is justified if you're willing to send your kids. Because how can you send somebody else's kids to a war if you won't send your own? So I'm calling right now for Baron Trump, Donald Trump's son. You know, after all, he's had 3 wives, he's had kids by each wife, and nobody's ever served in the military. To my knowledge, a Trump in the last 100 years has never done military service. Well, Baron, you can change that. Enlist in the United States military right now. Do something your father didn't have the courage to do. Do something.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from whatever you're watching this video from. And as you know, I'm your host and presenter Tech Stories. I want us to talk about something. 3 or 4 days ago, Kash Patel emails were leaked, and what people saw inside the emails really revealed a lot of things that I think people need to know. I might be late on this, but we have to talk about this. Whatever it revealed about Kash Patel, it revealed a lot, because there are a couple of things that Kash Patel has done to harm American citizens. The first thing, it promoted conspiracy theories about the deep state, which happened in 2020 elections fraud, in January 6th. The second thing he did, he supported Trump's false election claims and helping produce content like the J6 Prison Choir, which included some convicted January 6th rioters. Also, past statements about targeting media critics or using government power against perceived enemies. Kash Patel has denied keeping an actual enemies list, though his 2023 book Government Gangsters named many officials is so part of a deep state. So, people do not like Kash Patel. But hey, Iran served something which is so much important, because you know very well that Kash Patel has been working for Mr. Donald Trump, and everything that he says, director of the FBI, and everything that Kash Patel has been doing for the government of the United States. But this is what is happening. Majority of people, majority of things are getting to be released in a broad daylight. And Americans are asking, why don't Iran go ahead and reveal a lot about what they need to know? That Iranian government needs to drain all these elites, corporate accounts. They should drain them so that they serve the American citizens, because it's not serving the American citizens. But one crazy thing is, when I was watching this video, I really liked Black Americans' reactions in regards to this. Because majority of the things that people are talking about, or things that people are discussing, are things that should be taught, things that people should be talking about upfront. And this is the factor. Trump still is in the mission of, employing, or I'll use the word drafting, that's the right word, drafting American youths, American citizens. But Americans are still asking, why don't you draft Barron? You should draft Barron. You said you served as a military. Where are the receipts? Americans are not saying the receipts. So people are asking Barron Trump, go and represent the United States. Right? So brothers and sisters, this is the honest reaction of Black Americans in regards to this. I want us to watch this video, and then, I'll be back. I'll be sharing my 2 cents in regards to this. And if you're watching me for the first time, I'm asking you to please subscribe to the channel, join the membership, and really get to see what I can offer you. For those who are always coming back, supporting my channel, watching my videos, man, I'm really, really grateful for the support that you all are giving me. So let's watch the video. I'll be back.
Your father didn't have the patriotism to do. I want to see a Trump in the military. Everybody in my family is served, so I think I can say that with all due confidence. Come on, Trumps. Don't just reap the benefits of this free world. Somebody put on the uniform, and that's you, Barron. And I heard the excuse that Barron might be too tall. David Robinson served on active duty. He was 7 feet tall before he ever went to the San Antonio Spurs basketball team.
Wow. I can't even lie. He cooked. I mean, he just cooked the Trump family. And, he actually does have a leg to stand on here. He says he and everybody in his family served. Yeah, I think that makes you qualified to talk about the military. I think that gives you some qualification here and some leg to stand on, some justification for what he's saying here. And it's right. I mean, Trump is a draft dodging coward. He claimed bone spurs. He has never once felt patriotic enough, a love of country enough to put on the uniform. When it was his time to serve, he was called up to serve. He said, not doing it. No, sorry, bone spurs. Bone spurs many different times, might I add. It's not like he dodged the draft once, not twice, not 3 times, 5 times. I mean, we're talking about a prolific dodger who is perfectly happy to send people more courageous than him to war. But nobody in his family, not him, not Barron, not Eric, not Don, whatever, none of them will follow that, will follow in the footsteps of other military officials who've actually served, who actually did the work. And when they were called up, they went. So I really liked that clip from Jesse Ventura. And of course, Trump has never served in the military. Barron is living at the White House while attending NYU. He would be of draft age if a draft were authorized by Congress. And Ventura voluntarily enlisted in 1969 after graduating high school and was awarded the Vietnam Service Medal. He said he was calling on Barron to break the family tradition. I want to see a Trump in the military in addition. And these are all the fallen American soldiers so far in Donald Trump's war in Iran.
What do you mean the IDF is collapsing in on itself, says the chief of staff of the entire military. Oh, that's right, in a leaked recording, he just said, quote, the military is on the verge of collapse. Guys, this is real news right now. In a leaked cabinet meeting last night, he said the military will collapse in on itself, as they are having a manpower shortage, and he's raising 10 red flags for the ministers. In January, he sent a letter to Netanyahu warning that in the near future, the shortage of soldiers will harm the military. That was in January. We are in the near future. He says that they're lacking 12,000 troops due to the strain on the conflict and other military challenges. You know, I was wondering why Israeli soldiers were making TikToks like this, blaming these people for not serving. The number one sign of a failing nation is when society turns on itself and the government. Soldiers don't want to serve, and they're starting to blame others. Holy crap. Follow me for the newest update, comment your thoughts.
The state of Israel's military is one of deep crisis. The IDF is under-equipped, stretched thin, and facing significant personnel shortages. They can have as much equipment as they like. If they haven't got people to carry it, what good is it? Current reports indicate that Israel is 12,000 soldiers short, a number that cannot be easily addressed, and they've been trying for quite some time. The reservist system, once a dependable fallback, is now a liability, with many soldiers unwilling to serve due to exhaustion, the mental toll of the war, and repeated cycles of duty, and the growing number of suicides within the ranks as well. The reality is that Israel's military manpower is significantly diminished. Its forces are overstretched, have been for a length of time, and even if the country were to mobilize more troops, it'd be sending soldiers who are already mentally exhausted and mentally unprepared to face the kind of prolonged engagement that would be required for an invasion of Lebanon again. Israel's reliance on reservists exposes a fundamental weakness in its military readiness. These are civilians, pulled back into service after being away from the front lines, not battle-hardened soldiers who have been continuously engaged in combat. The current situation in Lebanon isn't a long-running conflict. It's supposed to be a year-long ceasefire. A ceasefire that Israel has repeatedly violated, of course, with repeated military incursions. So the expectation of peace is being undermined by Israel's actions anyway. Further complicating any potential escalation beyond that, reserves may not be willing to return to a front that, in theory, isn't even supposed to exist right now. So the real question is whether Israel can hold on to any semblance of military readiness when its forces are forced to return to the battlefield in a situation that should have left behind them now. And the pressure on these reservists, of course, is going to be immense. Reports indicate that many are refusing to return to the front lines, a trend that signals the breakdown in Israel's military cohesion. Just one more aspect of that. It's not a sign of force ready for another war, is it?
We were supposed to see the United States obliterate Iran's network of power plants if they didn't immediately open the Strait of Hormuz. So you remember over the weekend, President Trump gave Iran 48 hours, and then they didn't open the strait. And on Monday, he gave them 5 more days to open the strait, or obliteration was going to happen. But then that 5 days would have been tomorrow for Obliteration Day. Except Trump just postponed it again. Trump posted this to his social media page today at about 4:11 p.m. Eastern, saying that the Iranian government had requested that he pause the period of energy plant destruction by 10 days to Monday, April 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Trump says talks are ongoing, and despite erroneous statements to the contrary by the fake news media and others, they are going very well. This is how President Trump described those negotiations this morning.
They are begging to make a deal, not me. They're begging to make a deal. And anybody that saw what was happening over there would understand why they want to make a deal. But they say, oh, we're not talking to them. Anybody would know that. And only a total fool. And they're not fools. They're very smart, actually, in a certain way. And they're great negotiators. I say they're lousy fighters, but they're great negotiators.
Now, the president has continued to say that the U.S. has militarily won this war with Iran. Yet the Strait of Hormuz is still technically closed. So why did Trump give Iran 10 more days? He hinted it was because of a gift from Iran.
Steve, can I reveal the present? You can do anything you want to say. They said to show you the fact that we're real and solid and we're there. We're going to let you have 8 boats of oil, 8 boats, 8 big boats of oil. This was 2 days ago. And they'll sail up tomorrow. That was 3 days ago. And I didn't think much about it. And then I watched the news and they said, a very good anchor, actually. Happened to be Fox. But I watched it, and he said, something's unusual happening. There are 8 boats that are going right up the middle of the Hormuz Strait. 8 big tankers are going loaded up with oil right through. And I said, well, I guess they were right, and they were real.
But that whole boat gift thing was days ago. Why announce this deadline being postponed by 10 days today? Well, the fact is the U.S. stock market spent all day in the red and closed down about 470 points, while the global oil market spent all day going up and up and up. But do you see that right there, that dip? That happened just 5 minutes after President Trump posted that he was postponing the obliteration of the power plants by 10 more days. Oil on the global market is still well above $100 a barrel.
We have some major news right now. There is complete Republican chaos, both on Capitol Hill and at conferences off Capitol Hill, with Republicans literally cheering for impeachment. On Capitol Hill, you had the deal executed to fund TSA and large parts of DHS. Senate voted on it, passed overnight. Well, now the House doesn't really want to pass this bill. They want the Save America Act. Well, the Senate didn't pass the Save Act because there aren't enough votes, and they are furious. So there's a lot of consternation on Capitol Hill. We don't know if this bill is going to pass. We don't know if DHS is going to be funded. And get this, the Senate already left for the weekend. So, done. Meanwhile, off Capitol Hill, you literally have CPAC, which is a conservative action conference going on. They're accidentally cheering for Trump's impeachment.
How many of you would like to see impeachment hearings? No. That was the wrong answer. Let me try it again. How many of you would like to see impeachment hearings? No. Can someone bring some coffee out for the...
Absolute chaos right now.
Oh, this one is fun.
How many of you would like to see impeachment hearings? No. That was the wrong answer. Let me try it again. How many of you would like to see impeachment hearings? No. Can someone bring some coffee out for the...
Yeah, no, that's what I know.
We've got to keep this House majority. How many of you agree with that?
That didn't work out the way you thought it would, did it? Not at all. Not at all. Asking an entire room of hardcore Republicans if they want to see impeachment hearings, and they bring maybe things are changing. Maybe people are waking up. Now, I don't want to extrapolate too much from this specific instance, but let's be very clear. A room full of raging Republicans at CPAC just cheered for impeachment hearings.
Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing super great. From where you watching this video from. You know, America is where it is today because of a couple of people. This include directors. This include people that are close to Mr. Donald Trump, because Trump himself cannot think for himself. Like there are a couple of groups of people that want the United States to suffer, or the United States to go through what is going through right now. Talking about Kash Patel's situation. This reveals a lot of things about Kash Patel, because he's been on the eyes of public, and people have been seeing the way he does his things. And, you know, there were critiques that came from Democrats, you can say that, former FBI officials, and some medias. And the following are the truths about Kash Patel. First, Kash Patel is involved in mass firings or purges of FBI's personnel. So, he's fired or forced out numerous senior agents and officials, these including many involved in past investigation of Trump's e.g. classified documents case, January 6 probes, Russia investigation, lawsuits from fired officials, alleged political retaliation, and retribution. Critics say this has guarded expertise in counterterrorism. domestic extremism, and public corruption units, arming national security and politicizing the agency. Patel and supporters frame it as removing deep state bias and refocusing on the bureau. So, we have seen a lot of things that Kash Patel has been doing. This includes firing FBI officials who was trying to gather evidence and do investigation in regards to Donald Trump. These are the people that are surrounding Donald Trump. These are people that are advising Donald Trump. So Kash Patel involved in purges of FBI personnel because these people were investigating Trump. And there were so many lawsuits that were coming to Trump. But Kash Patel did what he did. Another thing is use of government resources for personal or questionable trips. Now, allegations of misusing FBI's or government jets for personal travel. There are a couple of times that Kash Patel was seen visiting Alexis Wilkins' performance, him going to golf trips, hunting ranches or events. There are also backlash over reportedly providing SWAT-level security for his girlfriend. So critics call it a wasteful and unethical use of taxpayers' money. It's led to scrutiny and calls for investigation. The third thing is handling of high-profile cases, Epstein's, Charlie Kirk assassination. Yeah, we know that he was involved in all of those. People say that Kash Patel revealed partial part of the Epstein file. He delayed some of the information. Backlash over the release of partial or withholding or redacting of Jeffrey Epstein-related files with accusations of delays, cover-ups related to Trump ties, or using it for political leverage. Smear files on critics like Representative Eric Swalwell. Another thing that he did is shifting FBI priorities and reforms, reassigning 20% of the workforce towards immigration enforcement, scaling back some domestic terrorism tracking, and lowering certain hiring or training standards. So critics argue that this weakens traditional missions like counterterrorism and public integrity while prioritizing Trump's agenda. He's also faced claims of cosplay in tactical gear and erratic leadership style. There were other allegations. He was alleged of mishandling of protocols in hostage rescues or operations during the first Trump term. That's the 2020 incident in Nigeria that nearly caused international issue, per critics like former Defense Secretary Mark Esper. So, people, and a lot was revealed about Kash Patel, and this was so much revealing even to people, right? So somebody came and said that Kash Patel is a pretentious failure, empty inside, a brainless, incompetent in every area. He got his job thanks to his tongue. He licked Trump's ass thoroughly. Somebody said that Nyang'ao got the files. That's why he's able to pull Trump strings. Okay, there's a comment that I'm going to be reading. Somebody said that wake me up when they hack bank accounts, pay off debts for the poor, find out which greedy farmer has the cures for everything from diabetes to blindness and high blood pressure, but just don't want to harm their profits. People getting all worked up over petty things. You all won't know what to do when the big acts come, and I believe they are coming. If I knew the hackers, I would be right behind them with fresh coffee, making all their meals from scratch, including bread and desserts. Let them work in peace and do not distracted by a little thing, when one thing I'll definitely figure out how to do is feed the angry and those that are food insecure. And right judicial and financial and societal injustices. And the one big thing that everybody is almost holding their breaths waiting for. If you can't think of one big thing, they knew I've had a privileged life. So these are Americans speaking their minds, and that's speaking about how they are feeling about all these issues that right now we are seeing are happening right now. Somebody say that, my friends in Iran, please hack the 3 credit bureau and delete everything. If you don't already know, it's TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Fed up Americans who didn't vote for him. Right. Somebody said that, this is the last comment that I'm going to be reading. Somebody said that, Trail Talk, Trump's daughter, Ivanka, can get drafted too. They just raised the age to 42. Men and women, starting April 20th. Send both of them. With granddaughter, Trump has born spars 5 times, and that makes them 3 for the forefront and 3 more to go. And yes, my math is mathing because someone in that family needs to make it right for dump truck dodging the draft. So brothers and sisters, please let me know what you think and feel about this video. And as you know, I'm your host and presenter HDog Stories, and as you know, I'm hoping to see you on my next video. Until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.